Yeah, David should come. In fact, yeah, David Byrne.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right, 7:01, and we call the meeting, well, we don't know if that clock is right.
Okay.
7:02.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
and we call the meeting to order in Washington Planning, and we see, what's her name? And the Able contingent.
Doesn't look like David.
And Carol, yes, and myself.
Okay.
In the absence of the chair,
Is that enough people?
Yeah.
yeah, just Mark, David, yeah. So, first order of business is,
Shouldn't have shown up.
yeah, is the public hearing for the Quist Freeland Bailey application. And they have asked for continuance.
Mhm.
And we are happy to grant them a continuance.
Yes.
What did it
At
July 2nd.
July 2nd,
July 2nd.
okay. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, motion carried. Now on to regular meeting. We call the order and we seat the same members because they're the only ones here.
Mhm.
April's, Carol, me, okay. Consideration of the minutes. I'm assuming they're
They were
perfect.
lovely.
They
Yes,
were
they were
lovely,
good. I
yeah.
move that we
okay.
accept them.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any subsequent business not on the agenda?
Nope.
Excellent. New applications?
No.
None.
Table.
Hey, pending applications?
No.
None.
No. Committee reports, sustainability. Carol, do you have anything to say?
It's basically the same old, you know, we're still working on charging stations, the wake voting issue is
No,
growing.
yeah, is it getting worse?
Well, it's
Yeah.
revving up.
Is anything
Revving it
happening?
up, huh?
I mean, are they doing anything on the lake about it? What can they?
Well, Warren and Kent are having meetings tonight.
Okay,
I'm not sure where it's going, because Warren there's a couple people in Warren that have them and insist they're gonna use them. La-di-da-da.
is there anything the state can do?
I think they're working with the state to do an ordinance,
Hmm,
and it's just to get the three towns to agree, but I think Washington can do their own.
well, maybe we should.
That'll be interesting.
How would we go about that? We have to
I think they're
involve
working
the
it
select.
now.
Pardon?
I think that the town attorney is working on it.
Oh, okay, all right, good. Anything else? That's it?
I think so.
Thank you. Okay, they weren't paying attention, but we
I know.
think it was a great.
I was.
Oh,
I was paying attention,
Oh, yeah.
wakeboarding, Warren and Kent having a meeting tonight, hopefully
okay,
getting the
yeah,
state on board.
the wakeboards, the stupid boats, okay. I'm only the temporary chair.
Yeah.
That's why.
And economic development, do you have anything to say? No. Okay.
Raising the shelter.
Okay, continuing discussion of the plan of conservation and development. Well,
All I have heard is that he's supposed to be getting those maps. I thought he was supposed to be getting them this week and, you know,
okay, well,
that's the last thing we need.
that's it. We're still hung up with the maps.
Mhm.
Okay.
Waiting on.
So the maps are coming in?
Oh, wait a
They're
minute.
supposed to be.
Oh, here she comes. Hurry up.
No, I already wrote that she wasn't here.
The meeting's over.
She just waved from the door. She's running upstairs as we speak, probably to get her notes. Should we continue or just,
Just continue.
okay, communications, anything?
Says
No.
none,
Do we have administrative business?
says none.
Excellent. Well,
Make a motion.
should we adjourn? And then we can all leave and she'll come down and
Yeah.
there won't be anybody
Yeah.
here?
Well, she can let us know if there's any announcements and we'll put them on the page or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, so we do have to feed you your beans fast.
You don't have to give them all to them.
But I was read.
Hurry up, we're adjourning. I'm serious. Seriously, yeah, we have no,
Oh, you don't have a quorum?
yeah, we have a quorum, but we have no business. Except for you. we already had the sustainability
We almost
report.
made it.
Sorry,
no.
wow, geez, guys, that's
Yeah.
amazingly fast. Sorry, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm late, I was at an event,
Okay, good for you.
WBA thing.
Anything happening?
So, well, update for sustainability, did you talk about the EV chargers?
No.
The
You
You
app-
said it.
I said you
She
did.
mentioned
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so the applications are finally completely in.
Cool.
We've been talking about this for
Yeah.
a while, but, 'Eversource is kicking in $20,000 for
Oh,
each of them, and we're on the hook for like 3,000 for each of
Oh,
them,
we can manage
which is
that.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
So we just,
Yeah.
it hasn't officially been approved yet, but finally the last.
Is
bit
that
of
for both?
paperwork- Yeah, each,
Oh, cool.
so, yeah, so
So
that's,
that's the one in New Preston, is that?
so the one in, there will be one in New Preston and
And
one
one-
over at Titus.
Okay.
Yeah, in the municipal parking lot back there. It
Oh,
had to
okay.
be town-owned land, it
Yeah.
had to have a pole, there were a lot of
Yeah.
criteria, we kind of walked all
Okay,
around.
can we get some signs to tell people where it is?
Yeah,
Oh,
so once we get those, we're gonna try to like advertise
Yeah.
and make sure they're on our maps.
Right,
The EDC is gonna talk to Buildings and Property and Parks and Rec about that lot up in Nick Platt up in New Preston.
right,
So that's exciting.
okay. And
And
they'll be on an app or something as well? Yeah.
yes, anybody who's got an electric car, you can go to the, they have multiple different
Yeah,
apps.
yeah.
Check the chart.
And they show up just
Yes,
on
charge
Google
point is one of
Maps
them.
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
are
And
you
we can-
charging for the use of it?
There will be, yes, there will be charging for the use, but the intent is not for the town to like make a lot of
Make money,
money.
you're just
It's
trying
to,
to-
yeah, to pay for the electricity,
Cool.
and then maybe like, and cover the service charges for the credit card, so.
Good.
So that's exciting. Sad news. We
Oh.
did not get the steep grant for the
No.
Titus sidewalks.
Oh,
I'm so frustrated. And what's so maddening is that the steep grants were supposed to be announced at the beginning of April. They just announced like 2 or 3 days ago. We were waiting on that one, so we did not apply for the
Okay.
connectivity, so we missed that round. So I have to prepare the documents for the next round.
okay. Is there anything we can, I mean, did we get a price for the sidewalks?
We did, it's a couple years old now. I think it was just shy of 2 million to do
Yikes.
all the sidewalks and the parking lot. I
all
mean,
the
it was a lot.
Oh,
It was a lot. It was the entire
Yeah,
like around. It's gonna be a challenge to ever complete that plan because
Yeah.
of DOT. We met, Jim and myself and the engineers met with DOT for the first part of the plan that we've submitted. Because of the state roads,
Right.
with the encroachment, they want all the sidewalks 5 feet
Yeah,
off the
that's
road,
crazy.
which,
Yeah.
you know, they're existing that we're repairing.
yeah,
And trying to put them on,
Titus,
like, on the hickory stick side.
yeah,
there
yeah,
to
yeah,
Connect to make it
Yeah.
continuous. There's some big trees, there's some light poles there, and then as you go down the road, there's actually, the town doesn't own it, it's private property, so
Yeah,
we
yeah.
need to get easements from
right,
them.
right, right.
So it's
Yeah.
tricky, but we do have money in the budget and we're hoping to put out to bid this year. I gotta follow up the engineers on the plans, but going from the plaza across Judy Black, beyond Barbara Bouye, all the way down to the bridge. So
Right.
that whole stretch, which is all broken and like, that's to be replaced. And then an actual ADA compliant sidewalk from 47 up to Marty's.
Right.
So it's gonna have to switch back, which is why
And
it's
then
not,
what about going down Titus? I mean, there used to be a sidewalk.
yeah, there's like an
There's one to a
asphalt
big
broken
tree.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's some trees planted in the
Yeah,
middle of it,
yeah.
on the riverside, on the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
side. So there's plans to redo that. What we're doing right now is just chunking it out and paying for it ourselves since the grant didn't come through.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, hello.
So,
So, yeah,
Okay, well,
So
maybe we
hopefully
should
we'll
just
get-
get the Cub Scouts out there with some goats and make trails, and then people will just wander around, and pretty soon it'll just be a walkthrough.
You know,
Sounds great.
Sorry.
I guess on the riverside, what really concerns me, and I see it all the time, is the rest of the sidewalks on the busy side. Because there's a lot of traffic there.
Yeah.
And there's not clear ways to walk.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not easy to get a stroller from like Judy Black to Parks Drug either.
No, so these new sites, so what's hopefully gonna happen by fall, if we get these bids in soon, will be from the plaza to the bridge and then over to Marty's, all ADA compliant, ramps.
Right,
Yeah.
Appropriate pitches, all fixed, so
Mhm.
strollers, wheelchairs, all
Yeah,
of that
cool.
should
That's good.
work.
well, that would be something.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
start, it's a start,
And then,
it's like a tenth of that project,
yeah.
but you gotta start
Okay,
somewhere.
yeah. I'll never forget when we did the depot study and people were going, well, no one's gonna walk around the depot. And then we took an overshot of the Danbury Mall and put it over the depot, and the Danbury Mall is actually bigger than the depot.
Wow.
So people who park their cars and walk around the entire Danbury Mall actually are walking further than if you walked around the whole depot.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's really fun, it
Yeah.
was redesigned for cars, but
Yeah.
it's silly because it is very walkable.
yeah,
And you should be able to walk from the pantry to town hall without like jumping some
Into
curbs,
zigzag,
cutting through
yeah.
some bushes,
Yeah.
walking out on a state highway, like,
Wasn't that part of the small town charm?
yes, yeah.
like playing, what is that
Dodging
game,
cars.
Frogger?
Well,
Yeah.
that's why I always thought that the sidewalk along Titus should, because people could be encouraged to like throw a picnic table out there and then people could sit along the river.
Which
It's,
is so beautiful.
it's a
Yeah.
lovely stretch, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
okay.
guess the last thing I would say too, so I was in Hartford last week with the Northwest Hills COG and CT Main Street, talking about their Promise program where they've done evaluations of our downtown main streets and how to manage and revitalize and improve our main streets. And then they are continuing on the work that was done, so I was up at Ed Advance workshopping that, and they said, what do you see for the future? And I really talked about the river
Yeah.
and like, actually, you know, it runs right through the
Mhm.
depot. We've
Yeah.
got a couple random picnic tables, but
Yeah.
not a sidewalk.
I
Yeah,
was thinking, so we're gonna have a food cart over on Sean's garage side, like where he has the
Mhm.
cars stored and stuff.
parked on the town lawn, yeah.
But, yeah, but no, it's, so the food cart is
For
gonna be
what?
on his property.
Yeah,
For what? Like all the time?
Monday through Friday, like 7 to 3.
cool.
Really?
And I said.
What
we'll
kind of
get,
food?
Hamburgers, hot dogs, stuff
Excellent.
that's not gonna, like, the contractors, you know,
Mhm.
people can afford, you
Mhm,
know,
mhm.
so, quick food, and, so that was approved, and I did mention that maybe the town could get some picnic tables
Yeah.
over on
Mhm.
that side.
I asked for that during COVID, when
Yeah.
every picnic table was always packed. And Jim said he was gonna buy it with ARPA money, and then he was gonna buy it with it. Actually, I'll buy them. I have some EDC money if I don't spend it on the
So
parking
that would
signs.
be great, because then
Yeah.
she went and told everybody that I said that we would, and I was like, no, I said
No.
maybe, maybe.
Well, let's talk about it tomorrow, because
Okay.
here we are in the last month.
That
of
would be a great,
fiscal.
that would be a great surprise, cause, she called Jen and Jen was like, Shelley told you that? And I was like, I did not.
But, the town owns that whole.
Yeah,
piece
exactly,
there,
'cause-
And it could be really lovely. We're
Yeah.
not really
Well,
taking advantage of
Yeah, Jim and I,
that, right?
Jim and I
Like a
talked about
patio,
that,
like you come
yeah.
out from Marty's or
Like-
whatever, like,
We
Well, there's-
talked about
there's-
some more like diagonal parking
Yeah.
possibly
Yeah.
over there, you know, if we cut out, that was a
So we
long
have-
time
Yeah.
ago.
no, we have a
yeah.
plan. So the plan that we applied for a grant for, on Titus has, it cuts in to
Yeah.
where that sidewalk is for some diagonal
Yeah,
parking,
yeah.
it adds, we skipped the tree, so it's
Yeah.
like 5 spots and 4 spots, so
Mhm.
there are a few more spots.
Mhm.
But we wanna put a sidewalk
Yeah,
on that side.
Sure.
Because there's, the other side is,
Mhm.
it's just driveways,
Yeah.
there's really no sidewalk.
there was a really funny thing, when we did the depot study, one of the things we realized is that all this time, because of the flood, the town has actually turned its back on the river
Yeah.
as a asset to the community, because it was a threat.
Yeah,
And now it's actually not a threat or shouldn't be seen as a threat, but we don't utilize it as an attraction for the community, which it should be.
It's so beautiful,
Yeah.
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 So that was what I wrote about for our
Excellent.
workshop. was-
Good work. Do you have anything that you came here to
Well, you know, I'm
contribute?
always here about the P O C D.
Well, we're not talking
Yeah,
about
we're
it.
not gonna talk about it
Well, I
today
was
because,
wondering if
yeah.
the hearing was set.
No, we're still waiting for a map.
That map's still not in.
But
Yeah.
if I could just pipe in on the last one, I actually was having a conversation with somebody, I don't even remember who, but they were wondering about, you know, just a walking kind of community plaza in the parking area between Barties and what's the other site, the
Pantry.
Realtor, just where you
Oh,
pull in there,
oh,
it's
between
really
those
kind of
two.
congested.
It's very.
Turn that into a walking community plaza with trees and picnic tables and such.
instead of
And
parking.
It's not that many parking spots, and we could probably fill those in somewhere else.
You're gonna have.
Well, you find those parking
Yeah.
spots.
Hey, I'm just conveying a conversation.
Yeah, no.
I got no skin in it.
Yeah,
no,
So
I
I
know.
love the idea,
Yeah.
because it is really congested and that
You
sidewalk.
got 3 entries right there for
Yeah.
cars, and what, about 50 yards between whatever that road is,
Mhm.
plus Marty's, plus the
Gas station.
bookstore.
Oh,
You know, cars, and it's come flying off that hill. That's a
Yeah.
scary place.
I know,
Yeah.
I also have emails into the DOT and I talked to the engineer about traffic calming there. And we had the engineers draw plans for multiple traffic calming. And they haven't gotten back to me. I'm like ready to just stalk them, like find their
That or-
office and camp out in front of them and be like, you must talk to me.
You go dig up some of the asphalt and make rumble strips of our own.
Cause I talked to
I
Gina
know,
about my rumble
yeah.
strips and she told me to talk to the traffic safety engineer, gave me the name. I've emailed her,
Yeah, yeah.
nothing, crickets, I can't find a phone number, DOT has no contacts on their website, so I don't know where it is.
That's like Amazon.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is, it's like you
or
can't,
anything else,
you
except
can't
for us,
find
we're here.
anybody, so I've had a.
Oh, tell them to call the land use office to
Yeah.
complain, that's what everybody does.
And the other thing about that plaza is that, you know, a lot of Marty's tables are out there, you're sucking fumes from 47.
Yeah,
Well,
It's
that's
not that
their,
pleasant.
yeah.
Yeah, well, and I gotta talk to Blaine, I think the tables are gonna have to leave that area.
if
If he
this,
wants to put them on the other side, he can, but in order to make that sidewalk ADA compliant, it has to switch back.
oh,
And the town owns from that sidewalk to the driveway, we own all of that, so we kept it all on town space, so. I haven't actually seen those final drawings yet, and, so that's on my docket to get those and go talk to him about that. But that's why picnic tables along the river would be just so nice. It's a little
Yeah, but if
circuitous
you
to
do
walk
that,
there.
let's talk about that tomorrow, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I would.
oh, and also, in front of the pantry, there's only one, is there a table out there?
She's got a couple out there on the,
Yeah,
in
she
the,
does, but they're,
grass.
they're her tables, I don't know who owns that, is that a town?
Zoe does,
Joey does?
yeah,
Not
or the
most
pantry,
aesthetic-
Yeah, the pan-
what?
Not the most aesthetic place.
So she's got a really pretty.
Back,
space
the-
on the side,
side,
between her and the
yeah.
gas station, they've got like a fountain.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
Lights and.
and there's some
really
nice
pretty.
tables out there.
But people like to sit in that grassy area, it's in the middle of a parking
Yeah.
lot, but it could
Okay.
be nicer, and we
Yeah,
talked
go figure.
about, in the
Hi,
plans that
David.
we had of putting.
Hey, Demi. Hey, everyone. How you doing?
Hi.
If you're not doing P O C D on the date.
No.
No, okay, go
Okay,
home.
no.
We're gonna adjourn anyway. We just had to wait for so-and-so to get here.
Sorry. Thank
Did
goodness
you guys
Brian
go
reminded
through the
me. I heard
subdivision
about it.
already?
I was like, oh,
Pardon?
Did you go through that subdivision?
no, it's being continued, David, because they don't have help,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I totally just blanked out and forgot for 15 minutes.
Well, we don't blame you. We were
Well,
almost
you
at
guys
that
are
point
lucky I
ourselves.
woke up, because I took a nap. I woke up 5 minutes before I came here.
And Wayne's not here and I'm subbing and I was happy to get out of here right now.
Early.
So
How about that?
yeah.
Make a motion?
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Hi.
Okay.
All right.
Celebratory.
Thank you for chiming in,
Hey,
David.
nice to see everyone. Always a pleasure. You guys take care. I'll see you maybe this weekend.
All right, and we'll be
Bye-bye.
around next week, next month
Bye.
too.